Yo, what is up, everybody? We are fully good. We are live. I'm about to post on all the socials that we're good. How are you guys doing today? I'm pretty excited for the day. I'm pretty excited for the stream today. It's gonna be a good one. How are you all doing today? Let's get all this posted up. Share the stream. We're locked in. We are locked in today, guys. I'm very, very excited. I'm about to post everything up on Instagram and TikTok and everything else. Live right now for answers to questions. What is up? So basically, just like always, we're gonna walk through some actually a good amount of questions. Any questions that you guys have, I'm gonna be answering them today, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. I'll probably be on until, I always say I'm only gonna be on for like 2 hours, but I usually end up being on for like more than 2 hours. But we're gonna have to just see how it goes today. You never know what type of day it's gonna be. But yeah, let's see. Once I get this all posted up, we're gonna start. If you guys have any questions, you could already start putting them in the chat if you'd like. And yeah. What is up, Enzo? Let's see. Let's get 100 people in this live today. I want 100 people out all at once. We need to lock in today. How are you guys? Are you guys excited for the test tomorrow? You guys think you're ready? How are you guys feeling tomorrow? How are you guys feeling? Let's see. All right, we're ready. Shall I just begin with some questions now? You're scared? No, don't be scared. Make sure y'all like up this stream, all right? Make sure you like up the stream, all right? You guys should not be shaking. Do not shake, guys. Do not shake for this exam, okay? Let's see. We're going to start with some questions. Should I give y'all an easy one to start with, or should I give y'all a hard one to start with? What should I do? Let's pull up all of these. I'm going to need to half screen that. All right, what should we start with? I'm very, very, very interested here. What do I want to start with? First day of studying for tomorrow. What should I do? You should go and pray. You should absolutely go and pray. You are cooked. Hard? Y'all want a hard one? All right, we'll start with a hard one. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna pull one up that I wrote myself. All right, I take pride in these questions that I write. Let's see here. I feel like that's not so hard. All right, this one y'all might have seen before. Y'all might have seen a question similar to this one before. So we're gonna try it out. Let's see if you guys can figure this out. All right, we're gonna see if you guys can figure this one out. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see perfectly. You can. All right, perfect. I can see what you guys can see. Beautiful. All right, we're going to try this question out. I honestly haven't tried solving this before. I just wrote the question. I never actually solved it. So hopefully I didn't make any mistakes when actually writing it out. But I don't think I did. Hopefully not. But yeah, if you have any specific questions you want me to cover today, you can email them. You can either send them in the chat if it's a general question, or if it's a specific question you want me to cover, you can email it to the email that is in the description of this live. Make sure to like the stream and share it to any of your friends if you want them to get a 1600, right? We are going to try and get as many people into this stream tonight as we possibly can. I'm worried about the math. You gotta lock in. We're gonna try this question out. I'm very excited for the stream today. I don't know why. I was honestly kind of nervous coming on today. I was like, I want to kind of keep it short because I don't want to do it. But second I turn the stream on, I don't know, it excites me. Is it bad that the SAT excites me? Probably. But we're going to start this question. So in a set of 4 consecutive integers where the integers are ordered from least to greatest, the first integer is represented by y. Let's call this x instead. So I guess I did make a typo. This should be an x. Okay. The sum of 12 and triple the 4th integer is greater than 8 more than the product of the 2nd and 3rd integers. Which inequality represents the situation? So we have 4 consecutive integers where the first integer is x. Okay, the first integer is x. So let's say the first one is x, then the next one would be x plus 1, right? Like we would add 1. And then the next one would be x plus 2. And the next one would be x plus 3. Right? And so we have that the sum of 12, so we have a 12 plus triple the 4th integer, so 3 times the 4th integer, so x plus 3, needs to be greater than, so it needs to be greater than 8 more than the product, so plus 8, from the product of the 2nd and 3rd integers. So the 2nd integer would be x plus 1, and the 3rd integer would be x plus 2. So we would look for an answer choice that has this, right? And so that answer choice that gives us that would be C, except these would just be swapped, right? But other than that, it would be the same exact question. Am I already in college? No, I am not. I am actually a senior in high school. Can you find some hard similar triangle questions? Of course I can find a hard similar triangles question. How hard do we want to go? Because I can give you guys one of the hardest questions you might have ever seen in your entire life here. And I think I might have to do that. Let's see. This one is a very, very hard one. So yeah, y'all pretty much knew what you're doing on that question. Very well done, guys. So I'm going to give you guys a very, very hard question here. All right. If you can solve this question, you are getting a 1600, but do not quote me on that. Okay. This question is a very tricky one. So let's figure this one out, guys. What? All right. This is like torture. Unless you guys do know how to solve it, then it's not torture. But assuming that you don't know how to solve it, this question might be torture. Okay. This question might be torture. All right. Are we locked in for this question, y'all? Are we locked in for this question? I haven't solved any problem solving and data analysis. We'll do one right after this one, actually. We will do it right after this one. I'd love to talk about some probability and data analysis. Okay. What do we think we're going to do on this question, guys? How long should I give you to solve this? Because this might take you a pretty good amount of time, right? This might take you a pretty good amount of time. I mean, pretty hard question here. Pretty hard question. Pretty hard question. Resources. Pretty hard question. What do y'all think you're going to do for this question, guys? Make sure you like up the stream, everyone. If there's 20 people watching right now, I should see 20 likes on the stream. All right? I should see 20 likes on the stream if there are 20 people. And make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, guys. Make sure you are subscribed, right? This is all for your benefit, right? The angle of 30, 60, and 90. Yes, it would. So that is the first thing we're going to try to do, right? That is the first thing we are going to try to do. So honestly, I haven't solved this question in a while. But so the first thing I would probably try to do is, this is my radius, right? This is a radius. It's from the center to some point on the circle. And this is 60, or sorry, that's 90, right? And then this is 60. And so then I know that this is, so by the way, I'm trying to find the ratio of RT to YZ. So I need to find these, right? And so what I could do is say, all right, well, I know that if this is R, right, then in a 30, 60, 90, this would be 2x, this would be x, and this would be x root 3. So if R is my 2x, right, I'm trying to find this, right? So then I could find that YZ is whatever double that is, right? So if R equals 2x, then R over 2 equals x. And so R over 2 root 3 is equal to x root 3, right? So this here then is R over 2 root 3. So this whole thing would just be R over root 3, right? You would double it. So YZ is going to equal R over root 3. Yeah, it's going to equal R over root 3. Okay, perfect. So, or sorry, not R over root 3, just R root 3. Okay, great. Then I know that these are equilateral triangles, right? That probably won't help me that much. But what I know now is if my radius is R, right? My radius is R, then looking at this big triangle of RTS, right? Which that one is equilateral. RTS, I have that my height then of that triangle, if the radius is just r, it's just 2r, right? Because it's just from top or from bottom here. I should draw it in a different color, from bottom here to top here, right? From the bottom to the top. And so if this angle is 60 and this angle is 60 and this angle is 60, well, then when I cut that in half, right, it'll be 30. And then this will be a right angle, right? And so now I have another 30, 60, 90 triangle, right? So like this is a 30, 60, 90, this triangle here, half of that. So if across from the 60 is 2r, right, then that's x root 3. Across from the 30 would just be x, and I'm trying to find x, right? Because then I could just say 2x is RT. So if x root 3 equals 2r, then x equals 2r over root 3, right? And so then I know that, I'm trying to make sure this is right. So x root 3 is 2r. Yeah, so x equals 2r over root 3. So 2x, which is double this. So 2x, which is what RT is, that's going to be 4r over root 3. So I basically just have to find the ratio of this over that, right? So the ratio of RT over YZ is 4r over root 3 divided by r root 3. So you would just get 4r over 3r, right? You would bring this root 3 to the bottom and make it 3. Right? And so 4r over 3r, you cancel these out, it becomes 4/3. What a question that one is. That is a pretty fun question there. What do you guys think about that question? Would you have been able to solve this if this came up on your SAT? Would you have solved this, guys? What do you think? What do you think? Are you guys locked in? Are you guys locked in? Do even harder. You want a question even harder than that. So the understanding the ratios will allow us to get the answer. Yes, of course. It's always about the ratios. Always about the ratios. Can you use similar triangles questions? Did it in my head personally? All right, buddy. All right. So sent the question through email. All right, let's take a look. Actually, no, let's talk a little bit about statistics. If you could, Enzo, what specifically about statistics would you like to know? Because there's a lot in the statistics, right? There's a lot. This question's easy. The heck? This question is easy. Actually, I should bite my tongue before I say that. I still get confused on the sides, the angles with the matching sides. All right, we'll do a so what, we have to get this one in, then we have to get the, okay, so let's take a look at this question. I know that you could, by the way, I think you could do this in Desmos. I'm pretty sure. Let's look. I haven't studied the whole category, so whatever you think is best. All right, we'll take a look at a few. Let me see if I can solve this without like actually doing anything by hand, and then I'll explain it to you guys. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do this by hand. So what I'm thinking is I can just go into Desmos and like write in that g of x is the absolute value of x over a minus 14, and then without adding a slider, I know, or then I could write g of what? I could try g of 15a times g of 7a, but it probably wouldn't work. Yeah, it wouldn't, right? It just says that a is less than 0. If I add a slider, does it matter what I make it? It's always going to be 609. Oh, that's very simple. Doesn't matter what the constant is, it's always going to be the same. Come on now. You got to give me a harder one than that. You got to give me a harder one than that. Got to give me a harder one than that. Come on, guys. All right. So let's talk about statistics. Let's talk about some statistics. Are you in AP Stats? Let's find out. Let's see here. Let's do one of my favorites, actually. Let's do a conversion factor question. Can y'all get a conversion factor question right? Let's get rid of this. Can y'all get a conversion factor question right? How shall we do a question like this? How shall we do a question like this, guys? Remember, guys, share this with all of your friends if you want to get a 1600. Otherwise, you're going to get a 1520, and then you're going to be cooked. Otherwise, you are going to get... This is a very, very common question. Extremely common. Extremely common. How do you know when to use a variable underscore 1? Whenever you're using a regression. Whenever you're doing, like, ax squared plus bx equals 10x squared, or let's say equals 10x squared minus 2x. If you wanted to use regression, you would have to change this into x1, 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 and then you would have to change it into this. You only ever have to use the ones with the x's and y's when you're doing regressions. Only with the x's and y's. For good practice, if you wanted to, you could put it with every single variable, but waste of time, if you ask me. But yeah. Okay, so by the way, this is part of probability and data analysis, Enzo. This is a very important factor of that. So in a question like this, right, we have that it is increasing at this rate. What is the rate in miles per minute squared? So what we have to do is, first of all, what are our units? We want to get from meters to miles, right? And we also need to get from second squared to minute squared. So the first thing we do is we know that 1 mile equals 1609 meters. Now, the problem here is that, actually, no, we don't have a problem yet. So meters and miles, great. That's our first conversion. Now, the second conversion is that 60 seconds equals 1 minute. Basically, we just want to write out our conversions. So 60 seconds equals 1 minute. But now the problem is that they have minutes squared and seconds squared. So what I need to do is I square these numbers. Okay? I square those numbers because their conversion factor is squared. So I know that 3600 seconds squared is equal to 1 minute squared. And now what I do is I'm going to write down my initial. Okay, so I have 17.8 meters per means divided by seconds squared. Then you're going to multiply by a fraction and say, okay, if I want to get rid of meters, should I put meters on the top or bottom? You would put it on the bottom so that they'll cancel out. And you would match that with miles on the top. And so you get the 1609 meters on the top and 1 mile on the bottom. Or sorry, opposite way around. So you get 1 mile on the top and 1609 meters on the bottom. Then I need to get rid of seconds squared, right? So in order to do that, I'm going to multiply by seconds squared to cross them out. And I'll have minutes squared on the bottom. And so I'll have that 3600 seconds squared on the top is 1 minute squared on the bottom. And so I'm left with minutes squared and miles, which is what I wanted. And so it would be whatever this is, right? Is that hard? You tell me. Is there any situations other than regression you would have to use subscript 1 or any table problems? Well, if you're constructing a function, as in like in a question where you define your own function, like for example, you could do, for example, you could write like table, and then you could have like 5 comma 25 and then 5 comma 100 and or 0 comma 25, and they told you that 5 comma 100 was the maximum, and then it was a quadratic, so you would make this quadratic, but then you're like, wait, 5 comma 100 is not the maximum, so how could you do that? Well, you have to write vertex form. So remember, vertex form is this: squared plus k, where h and k are the vertex. So the h turns into the 5, that's the maximum, that's x value at the maximum. The k turns into 100. And then you write y1 because of this y1. That is going to be equivalent. I guess I should write out this, what this is, right? That is equivalent to, or so I should put that here, sorry. Is equivalent to a times x1 minus 5 squared. And look at that. Now it gives me the correct graph, right? Now that gives me the correct graph. When Clash Royale stream at 10,000 YouTube subscribers. At 10,000 YouTube subscribers, I would rather do a Clash of Clans live stream, but I could do Clash Royale. I have a nasty deck. What was my SAT score? 1570. It was actually a 1200, guys. I lied. Okay. Shall I do another statistics problem or something else? What shall I do? Okay, this question that was sent to me through an email. And again, you can email me any questions that you have, and I will answer them. Email them to the email that is in the description of this live stream. Otherwise, you could just ask them in here. Now, okay, this question, kind of common. I feel like it's a little oversaturated at this point, but who knows, really? You never know what they're going to put. I need to go from 1380 to 1500. That is not that hard. You could do that pretty simply, in my opinion. Okay, how would you do this question, guys? Are you geeked or are you locked in? We're about to find out. Very easily, we're about to find out if you're geeked or locked in. Feeling really confident on reading, but I feel like math's going to be really hard. I think the whole test is going to be hard, guys. I'm sorry. I can't even lie to you. I would have a guilty conscience if I lied to you guys. I think the test is going to be hard tomorrow. I said it here first, folks. Going to be harder than the August one, in my opinion. It's going to be harder than the August, in my opinion. So how would you do this question? Well, we could employ the fact, and this is actually a crazy timing here. what I'm about to do. What's up? What's up, Eva? Okay, so looking at this question, right? After this, can you go back to the previous question? You can back up the live stream. You should be able to. Why though? Why what? Why did I lie about my SAT score and say that it's a 1200 instead of saying it's 1200? I don't know, because the 1200 is not aura. I'm kidding, guys. I didn't lie about my SAT score. I can never get a 1200 on the SAT. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That's SATist. Okay, anyway. All right. I do not discriminate based on SAT score. Anyway. Unless you have below 1,000. All right. So looking at this question, my mic is low. My mic should not be low. My mic is not low. Is that true? Is my microphone low? Let's see. Yeah, my microphone is not low. All right, here's what we're going to do on a question like this. We know that x plus 2b is a factor and x is a positive integer. All we have to do is realize the following, guys. And I'm about to put you on absolute game. Okay, I'm about to put you on absolute game. Did you know that if you take a function and you know its factors, so the factor of this function is x minus 1 and x minus 2. Those are the two factors. If I plot those will equal 0 at exactly the same time that the function is equal to 0. Isn't that neat? Isn't that neat? Yes, it's very neat. So what I could do on this question is literally just write in x plus 2b and make a slider for b where it's a positive integer. So let's say it can go from 1 to 100 with a step of 1. And then I'm going to put in my answer choices. So we'll try them one at a time. So 3x squared plus 7x plus 14b. And here's what we're going to see. And I'm going to show you another way that you can do it by hand as well. So what we could do here is if I now zoom out, I guess I should move this a little. So now if I zoom out, when I move b around, there will be no point at which these functions will equal 0 at the same time. So that's wrong, right? So I try the next one and it's 28x. So again here, let's zoom in and check, is there any time in which the function will equal 0 at the same time? So let's keep going. And here it looks like they won't. And then here, now we're done. Now they will never touch 0 at the same time. So again, no. Then we try 42. If we try 42, can we find a time where they both equal 0 at the same time? Nope, we cannot. And then if we try 49, let's find out. So starting from here, if we keep going, oh, look at that. Right here, they'll equal 0 at the same exact time. So that is going to be our answer to that question. The answer to that question would have been D. Now, you could have also figured this out by hand, right? How could you figure this out by hand? All you'd have to do is realize that if one of my factors is x plus 2b, and every single answer choice has a 3x squared here, then this has to be 3x. So that x times 3x is 3x squared. And if this is a 2b here, and this is 14b, this has to be 7. So if I FOIL this out, I'll get 3x squared plus 7x plus 6bx plus 14b. And so this is the only thing that's going to change. So if I say, okay, first I'm going to try b is 1 because that's the first integer. If b equals 1, then I'll have 7x plus 6x. So I'll have 13x, right? If b is 2, then I'll have 7x plus 12x. So I'll have 19x. Then if b is 3, I'll have, what would it be then? 26x. And you realize that all you're doing is adding, it wouldn't be 26x, it'd be, 25x. So yeah, that's all you have to do. And then you realize, wait, I'm just adding 7 every time. So, or 6 every time. So next time it'd be 31, 37, then what, 43, then 49. And any of these could be your answer choice. Okay. And so we end up falling on 49. Right. So not too bad, right? Not too bad. Not too bad. Come on, guys. You guys got to challenge me. I think on the last session, nobody was able to stump me. I was very disappointed. Nobody was able to stump me, guys. I am stumpable. I can get an SAT question wrong, guys. I am not perfect. So your goal, guys, is to stump me. And vocab questions don't count, by the way, because on a vocab question, if I don't know the word, I'm going to get it wrong, guys. I really don't know every single word in the English language, contrary to popular belief. Actually, I don't think anyone believes that. What else would y'all like to know? What else would y'all like to know about the SAT, guys? Similar triangle questions, please. Okay, let's do that. Let's actually do that. So let's do a similar triangle question. So let's pull this up. What should we do here? Let's see here. Let's see. All right, let's do this one. What are your thoughts on this one? Can it be English? Of course you can ask an English question. I can do some English too, y'all. I can do some English. The only reason I only ever post math is because no one likes to watch an English question. Nobody really likes to do that. And I want engagement on my page, you know. Everyone skips past the English questions. I try to post an English question and it gets no views. So I just stopped posting it. But I really should post more of it, honestly. What the heck? All right. What do you think about a question like this, guys? I haven't even looked at this. Do question 12, module 2, practice test 8. You have to send me a picture of that. DM me a picture to the email. To the email. Practically the hardest CLA I've ever done. Then you haven't done any of my English that I've used. Because I will show you a question that's harder than any English you've ever done. Okay, so again, email that question to the email in the description of this live. Okay, so this question. The figure LQ intersects MP at point R and LM is parallel to PQ. Okay, so the lengths of MR and RP, so MR and RP are 8 and 14, so MR is 8 and RP is 14, right? And we have that the area of LMR is 36 square units. What is the area of angle PQR or triangle PQR? So first of all, these angles are equal, right? We also know then that since these are parallel lines, M and Q are equal. How do I know that? Because if I have to, let's look at this. So this is basically line M. This is angle M. And then this is angle Q, right? In that scenario, right, if I can continue these, you could see that these are alternate interior angles, right? So those are equal, right? This is not angle Q, it's angle P, sorry. So anyways, I know then that the ratio of this to this, right, is 14 over 8, right? So if I square this, I will get the ratio of the other areas. Why do I square it? Because if I'm talking about, let's say I multiply my side length by 2, that means that I multiply my area by 4. If I multiply my side length by 2, I multiply my volume by 8 because of 2 cubed, right? You have to know this. So 14 over 8 squared means that the comparison of these volumes will be 196, or what's 14 squared? 194, or 14 squared is 196. So 196 over 64. So that is going to be our scale factor for the area. So it's going to be 196 over 64 is equal to whatever this is. So whatever, why do you think the SAT is going to be hard? Because of historical data. Okay, so equals, I'll explain more after this. So LMR is 36, so equals X over 36. So then you could simplify this. So let's go to Desmos. 196 times 36 over 64 gives you 441 over 4. Basically just multiplying the 36 to the other side and turning it into a fraction gives you 441 over 4. Should I give up if I just started studying or never give up? You should give up. You should give up. Actually, no. You should stay here and watch my live stream for 3 hours. No, I'm kidding. I really don't know. If you just started studying today, you're probably cooked, honestly. I can't even lie, guys. If you just started studying today, you're probably cooked. Am I cooked? If you didn't study, yeah. If you didn't study, you are cooked. Why do I square? Because of conversion factors. If I double the side lengths of a shape, the perimeter or circumference will just double. So the perimeter or circumference will just double. Actually, you know what? I'm about to put y'all on game. All right. Let's see. Let's draw a square. And then I'm going to explain the question that was just emailed to me. So let's say we have this square. And then we also have this square. Okay. And these are two great squares. All right. This square has side lengths of x by x. And this one has side lengths of bx by bx. Can someone tell me what is the perimeter of this? What is the area of this? Well, the perimeter is going to be x plus x plus x plus x, so 4x. The area is going to be, can I do a hard grammar question? Sure. And then the area is going to be x by x, so x squared. Now, if I made this into a cube, show us formulas to memorize, I can do that as well. So if I have this, I already have, you can find formulas on my resource page, but the volume then would be x cubed, right? Now, let's do the same thing with this. The perimeter is what? B. Or it's 4bx, because we have bx plus bx plus bx plus bx, so 4bx. Then the area would be bx times bx, so it would be b squared x squared, right? And then the volume, if I made this into a cube, that would be bx times bx times bx, right? So b cubed x cubed. So notice how this multiplies, the perimeter multiplies by b to the 1, the area multiplies by b squared, and the volume multiplies by b cubed. That is the definition of scale factors. If I multiply these side lengths by some value, the areas will multiply by b squared, considering that b is the scale factor there. And then the volume will multiply by b cubed. And yeah, that's pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. All right, let's take a look at this question that was sent to me through email. 2 questions were actually sent to me through email. Oh, this question's simple. All right, so you guys gotta send me harder questions, man. This is come on now. We should be plugging this straight into Desmos. This is a 2-second question here. Am I taking the SAT? No, I am not. I will not be taking the SAT again until March. Unfortunately, very unfortunately. But just you wait. March SAT, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for the March SAT. All right, this question goes straight into Desmos. Where did my Desmos just go? It's gone. Where should it go? It's right here. No, it's right here. All right, perfect. So let's see. Wonder how do you, okay, I have to open up then. Let's see, let's open up Discord. All right, so let's take a look. So all I have to do is say the square root of x1 to the power 5, and I'm going to be using x1 because I'm about to use a regression, and I'm going to use a regression because I want to guess the value of these constants of a and b. So over the cube root, so CBRT, of x1 to the power 4, and that's going to be equal to, let's say that that's going to be equal to, it shouldn't be like that. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just going to say that that's equal to. Then I just have x1 to the a over b. x1 to the power of a over b. And then I make a list for x1. Why do I do this? I do this whenever I need this to be true for all values of x. So it says for all positive value of x. Basically, do this whenever you have, you're looking for something that's not x. So we're looking for a and b here. So x1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter what numbers you put, just that you put in like 4 or more. Technically, you only need 2 here. You need however many constants you have, but just put in 4. So then a over b. And then you just click this to give you a fraction. It's 7, 6. Pretty easy. All right, let's look at this. Let's see, it's updating. Oh, it's going to take forever to update. Absolutely forever. It's not even going to respond. All right, so that's a pretty simple question. This is not the hardest question you've ever done. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. You haven't seen a hard English question. I know this question. Y'all know what this question is? Y'all know about this question? What y'all know about this question? What do y'all know about this question? Let me get the actual question out. All right. Let me give you guys a second to read it. Let's see if I have other emails. I am working through this through sickness, guys. I'm doing this through sickness for you guys. This question is easy. Well, I guess it's not so easy, but it's easier than others, in my personal opinion. Okay. By the way, guys, if you know the answer, don't immediately put it in the chat. It ruins it for everyone else trying to do it. It ruins it for everyone else trying to do that question, guys. I believe you that you know how to do it. I do believe you. Okay. but just wait, like, I don't know, maybe a minute or so. Maybe wait until I start actually doing it. You know, give a little bit of time. I'm always that kid that, okay, so slide some hard ones. I would gladly slide you some hard ones. And guess what? You know what you can do. You know what you can do. You can go right to tutorbydesign.com/resources. And it's going to be right there for you. It's going to be right there for you. Hard SAT questions. All of this is right there. It is right there, ready for you guys. Okay. Can you do number 5 on your geometry questions on the roadmap doc? So what is that? Roadmap number 5 on my doc. What is this? Roadmap. 5. Just right here. Number 5. Let's see what that is. Oh, I'll do this question. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Who else just sent me something? I can't remember. Guys, tutorbydesign.com/resources. I have all of these resources for you guys, and they're free. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. All right, let's do this question. Actually, wait, we got to do this question first. That's what I was forgetting. I was forgetting to do the actual question. All right. So we have in a study of the evolution of DPTA and DPTB, these genes encoding in antimicrobial peptides that combat pathogens and foster beneficial microbes in fruit flies, researchers assessed this thing resistance to pathogenic infections by this and this bacteria common in the fly's environment. Subjects included flies identified by mutations silencing DPTA, DPTB, or both DPTA or DPTB. So basically, there were these mutations that were silencing DPTA or DPTB. So basically, if DPTA was silenced, then it was type A, right? If DPTB was silenced, then it was type B, and if both were silenced, then it was AB, right? So then it says, in conjunction with the observation that resistance to this correlate with DPTA activity, but is not significantly affected by DPTB activity, data in the graph of survival rates post whatever infection suggests what? It suggests that if you have a lack of DPTB, right? The blue is going to be a lack of DPTB, right? And then this is going to be a lack of DPTA and B. So DPTA and B. So I should just say lack of B. This is going to be a lack of A and B. And this is going to be just a lack of A. So it seems like if you're lacking B, you're cooked, right? If you're lacking B, your survival rate is basically 0, right? So it suggests that what? It suggests that DPTB is going to be the defense, right? Without DPTB, you are going to die. Okay, without DPTB, sadly, if you are a fly, you are going to die. You're going all the way down to 0. Even if you have DPTA, you're going all the way down to 0. So what should be the answer there then? Pretty simple after that, right? Pretty simple after that, guys. Right? I wonder if I can get music in the stream. Does YouTube have crazy rules for streaming with music? Do y'all know if YouTube allows you to stream with music? I wonder. I don't know. Y'all know that some people are about to start taking the test very, very soon. It's going to start soon. You are most welcome to. Idiot Tutor Mark Nessus is currently live, guys. Is that tough? Is that tough? Is that tough, guys? Idiot Tutor Mark Nessus is live. All right, let's get out of there. I gotta focus on you guys. All right, so what was the next? I was about to do a question. Oh, I see what I was going to do. I've never done this question, so you guys might be able to trick me. You guys might be able to trick me here. Let's see. It's a very large. I need to make that smaller. Let's see. All right, that's better. Can you show an efficient way to solve long? I would love to do that. That is going to be next. Guys, if I forget to do your question, just remind me that you sent me it. All right, and then I will try my best to remember. There's a lot of these questions get sent to me all at once, and then I forget. All right, so probably going to need Desmos for this, right? And so here's what I'm thinking here. I want to find the value of W, and I know that the value Q comma 19 lies on the whatever. So would you say, what would you say is something that students should look out for on section math? They're going to give you a quadratic with only 2 points, but one of them is the vertex, and they're going to ask you for like a point on the quadratic. And you're going to say, all right, let's put it into Desmos. For example, they're going to tell you that there's 2 points and that 0, 25 is the max, or sorry, is a point on the graph, and that 5, 100 is the max. And then they're going to say find f of 9. And you're going to say, all right, I put this in and then I click quadratic. And then you're like, wait, this is not the max. You have to write it in vertex form if they only give you 2 points. So it's going to be y1 is equivalent to a times x1 minus 5 squared plus 100, right? That is what vertex form would be there. So then, like if I wanted f of 9, I could just write y or x equals 9 and see when they touch. So 52, right? All right, so continuing into this question. The first thing I'm thinking is I could probably just multiply this by -2, and I'll have that negative 2x, or just positive 2, sorry, I don't need to do a negative. Negative 2x minus 2wy is equal to negative 674. And then I have that positive 2x minus wy equals just 47. Now, if I add these, I'm going to get that these will cancel. And I'll get negative 3wy equals, what's negative 674 plus 47? Equals negative 672. Now all I have to do, well, then I guess I could divide by 3. So negative 672, or 627 divided by 3. And this is negative 627. Negative 627. So divide that by 2, you get that wy is equal to 209. So now if y is 19, and that is a point, on these, that is a solution, right? I could just say w times the y value I just got of 19 equals 209. And so I'll get that 209 divided by 19 is w. And now, so I'll get that w is 11, but even if I wanted to make sure, right? If I wanted to be really sure, I could just come back into Desmos and say that, all right, well, now I have that, it should be negative x minus 11y equals negative 337. And then I have that 2x minus 11y equals 47. And let's see when they touch. And look at that. The y value is 19. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful question, guys. That is a beautiful question. Let's see. There was a question emailed to me before you asked if I could do a hard question. So let me do this question first. Easy question again. Easy question again. Who put y'all onto OnePrep, guys? Was it me? Did I put y'all onto OnePrep? Or have y'all been using this since before? Since before me. Who put y'all onto OnePrep? Should I get sponsored by OnePrep? No, I don't want to get sponsored by OnePrep. By the way, guys, join up the free college college application help Discord server. You can find a ton of resources. I'm just going to plug my own thing for now. So you can find a ton of college admissions help, including what I use for my, where should this go? Where I use for my college essay checklist. Then I also have a PDF from Common Operating Session, right? Then I also have how to get good letter of recommendations, guys. How to get good letters of recommendations, okay? How I get good letters of recommendations, right? If you want to look at what this might look like, this should help you. So I have help for what to email them, and then I have help for what to do once they agree, right? It is a template, right? Lock in, guys. Lock in. You can go to, if you want to join, all you have to go is to tutorbydesign.com/resources. Free college application resource server. You click on that link, it'll send you an invite to the server, and you will join. That's all you have to do. All you have to do, guys. And then you get locked in. All right? Then you get locked in. How's SAT comparable compared to the ones you post on Reels? So listen, the questions I post on Reels are hard questions. Those are hard questions. If you can solve every single question that I am posting on those Reels, you are going to get 700 plus on the math section. Those are like the end of section 2. math questions. I only post hard questions because I'm not going to waste my time showing you how to solve simple questions, guys. All right, that's a waste of my time. These are the hardest types of questions you will see. All right, people often get mad at me. Actually, I had a recent run-in with someone who didn't know who I was, but we were talking. It was funny actually. We were talking about Tutor by Design, and they said, like, 'cause I was talking to them as like who I am, like I'm Noah, and they didn't know that I was Tutor by Design, and they said. It just came up and we were talking and they said like I really hate Tutor by Design because they scare people because they put really hard questions that are like harder than the test. And I said, well, that's the whole point. So yeah, like if you can do those questions, you should be good. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is not too bad. So we have this information and we have that y equals f of x minus 12. So basically if y equals f of x minus 12, then that tells me that y equals negative a to the x plus b minus 12, right? Because that's what f of x is. And so practice test 6 or 7 tonight in prep for tomorrow. I would do number 6, 7. I'll do number 6. But honestly, you don't have to do a practice test tonight. Like, it's already 6 o'clock. So anyway. So then we also have that the point of 0 comma negative 75 over 7 is on the line. And then we have AB equals 320 over 7. So what I could do here is just come into Desmos and write that. Actually, I could write a couple different things. So I could write that I have that y equals. Actually, I could just write that we could say that y1 is equal to. I'll put in a table 0 comma negative 75 over 7. And then I'll put in y1 is equivalent to negative a to the power of x1 plus b minus 12. And then I'll just put a parameter that b is equal to 320 over 7. 320 over 7a, right? And it tells me that the value of a is 20. And again, if I want to try this and be certain, I could say that now y equals a negative a to the power of x1, or just the power of x. Actually, I could put f of x. F of x equals negative a to the power of x plus b minus 12, and check what f of 0 is. And it should equal this negative 75 over 7, which it does. So, bang. All right, please do an English question too. Yeah, let's jump into an English question. Basically, recap. Put this into a table, put in that y is equal to this, and then define that b is 320 over 7a. Basically, you have to get one of these by themselves. So b equals 320 over 7a. You also could say that a is 320 over 7b. Either one works. If you had done that, you would get the same situation. It would just be then that it would tell you here that a is 20, right? But you would get the same scenario, and then you could check your work with how I showed. Okay, please do an English question. Let's do an English question. It is time to lock in, guys. Let's see. Do I want to do a hard question? Let's see. All right, let's do this question. This is a pretty good question. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on live for today. Maybe honestly want to keep it under 2 hours. Honestly want to keep it under 2 hours. I have a life to live, guys. Unfortunately, the SAT is not the only thing I ever want to do. Here's the question, please. Answer what question? If there's an equilateral triangle inscribed in a circle and the radius of the circle will be r, what is the side? Which is the side of the triangle divided? Okay, while you guys are reading this question, I'm going to solve this off on the side. So, equilateral triangle inscribed in a circle. Okay. Then I'm going to draw this as a center and then here. And so this creates 30. This is R. And this creates 30. This creates 30, 90, and 60. And then 30, 90, 60. Yeah. Okay, 30, 90, 60. And then, so this is R. So what's the question? I'll do a stats question after this. What is the side of the triangle? So this is R. This is just, we just did this. So this is 2x, and this is x root 3. So if 2x equals R, then x equals R over 2. So R over 2 root 3 is this. So this is just R over 2 root 3. So the whole thing is just R root 3. You would double it. Double it and give it to the next person. All right, after this question, we're going to jump into a good amount of stats, guys. We are going to lock in on some stats. Are y'all ready for me to show you how to do this question, guys? Make sure y'all are liking up the stream, guys. If you don't mind to answer the question I sent you by email, sure. I'm going to do some, I guess you probably sent it before. So let's look. I don't see a message by email. Am I tweaking? Am I tweaking? I literally did this exact question. Hold on. This question. Literally have this exact question. You can't see the... Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Let's move this. It's a triangle question? I don't see a triangle question in my email. Resend it. All right. Let's lock in on this question, guys. And we are going to use my strategy of, on these long passages, you're going to summarize every sentence. So, consumers increasingly expect that goods they purchase online will be delivered rapidly, even as soon as the day of purchase. So, consumers want fast delivery. Okay. Although efficiencies in long-distance transport of parcels have greatly improved delivery times, last-mile logistics, the final step in delivery to consumers, present a bottleneck for delivery. So, long-distance transport gets better, but last-mile logistics, I'm going to just say, but LML is a bottleneck, right? Don't apologize. Just resend it, and then we'll all be good. Okay, so perfect. Let's actually change this color. Okay, that's better. Okay, great. Now continuing. Time pressure resulting from consumer expectations is not the only challenge. Other obstacles, such as complex and inefficient delivery routes, persist. So, other problems, such as inefficient delivery route. Okay, so while innovations to mitigate these challenges have been emerging, the use of autonomous delivery robots, for instance, success has been constrained due to the additional complications that arise. So robots travel relatively slow since they must navigate many ground level obstacles. So fixes have been emerging, but robots still aren't perfect because they are slow and have to navigate ground obstacles. Consequently what? Consequently, the problem won't get fixed anytime soon. And that's just what we pick, right? We pick an answer that's as close to that as we can, right? And so looking through the answer choices, what do you think the answer could be then? What could the answer be then? By the way, guys, if you are not already, sign up for my free Desmos course. You can get the first 6 sessions for free, okay? We are almost at 1,000 subscribed people to my website, guys. I'm very excited to say that. I might have to do something special for the 1,000. I might have to do something special for the 1,000, guys. It's very, very exciting. I think we're at like 970 right now. We might have to do something special for the 1,000. I don't know what I'll do. Don't know what I'll do. And I'm gonna hit 10,000 on I'm gonna have to do I'm gonna have to do one for 10K on TikTok soon. So that's also a thing. It's also a thing. Okay, so what's the answer then? Bang. It's D. Very easy. Very, very easy. Oh, I got a question. All right. Let's see this one. And then we'll do the other one. And then we'll do stats. All right. No more questions for now. We're about to do stats soon. Actually, you could send in emails, but we're going to do stats after. We're going to do this one more, and then we're doing stats. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at this. All right. Who just messaged me? Oh, perfect. All right. Pretty simple question here. So, basically, we have that YQ is 63. We have that WQ is 70. We have that WX is 60. And we have that XQ is 120. And we want to find YZ. All you have to do is you say, okay, this X is across from the Q. And that matches up with this angle across from the Q because they're the same, right? We take two angles that have this, or two sides that have the same angle. And we do the small side over the big side. So X is the small side over the big side is 60. How do I know that? Because then I know that this small side across from Z is going to match up with this big side across from X, right? Because those are the two unmarked angles. Basically, I know that these two angles are the same. These two angles are the same, so these two sides are the same. And then these two angles are the same, so these two sides are the same that are across from them. And then finally, I know that these two angles are the same. They're the two that are left, so these sides are the same. So that's going to equal the small side of 63 over 70, right? And so the length of YZ, then X just equals 63 over 70 times 60. I think that gives you 54. It's 54. Bang. Very, very light. See, I really wish that I could stream on Instagram, but I can't at the moment. Are we cooked? Grammar isn't great. What would you recommend to do? Get my grammar course. But if you can't do the grammar course, because obviously some people can't afford it, check out the free 20-ish minute video I have on this channel. What state are you in? I am from Florida, guys. The hillbilly state. Am I a hillbilly? I don't think so. I do not think so. Guys, make sure to tap that like button if you want a 1600 on the SAT. All right. Just had to get that out there. Let's do the next question. And that's going to be from here. And then we are doing some statistics. We are getting through statistics. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, start this question. While you're doing that, I got to go get some food. I will be right back, guys. Do this question. Should I really leave this? Yeah, give me 2 seconds, y'all. I don't know what I'm about to get. I don't know what food I'm about to get. I don't know. Oh, my God. I'm not a hillbilly, guys. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Solve this question. Locked. Can y'all solve this question? Well, guess what? I can. All right, so the surface area of this rectangular prism is 58 square centimeters. And the surface area of this right rectangular prism is 1540 centimeters squared. The volume of one of them is 1250. So let's write this out. So surface area and volume for x and y. So the surface area for x is 58. The volume is unknown. Let's call it u for unknown. And then we have that the surface area for y is 1450 and that the volume is 1250. All right. All you got to do is this. So what did the surface area multiply by to get from x to y? What is 1450 divided by 58? I have a feeling that's 9. No, it's not 9. It's 25. So remember what we talked about with the scale factors, right? B to the power of 2 equals the area. That also works for the surface area, right? So that means that our scale factor here is the square root of 25, right? So like 5 squared equals that 25 we got. So this is our scale factor. And so what we have to realize then is that this multiplied by 5 cubed. The volume multiplied by 5 cubed. So the volume multiplied by 125. That's what 5 cubed is. So what number multiplied by 125 would be 1250? It'd just be 10, right? So the volume of x is 10. The volume of y is 1250. Add them together, it's 1260. Bang. Pretty simple. Pretty simple, guys. Guys, should you read the news before the SAT and should you jump out of bed as fast as absolutely possible tomorrow? Of course. That is not even a question. Not even a question, guys. Lock in. All right. Lock in. Are we ready for some statistics, guys? Are we ready for some statistics? What do y'all think? Are you ready for statistics or no? Yes or no, or maybe so. Yes or no, or maybe so. Guys, SAT word, jouska, is a noun. It is the mental habit of rehearsing or imagining conversations that never actually occur. You guys probably can't. Actually, let's see. You guys, I want you to be able to see this. Jouska. Can you see? Higher ST means data is more spread out. Yes. All right. Jouska. Good word. All right, let's see. First thing for statistics is, let's say that I'm about to give you guys like 20 minutes of a full session, right? So let's go through this. Actually, maybe not 20 minutes. I'm going to go fast. So let's say that I decided to quit my job today and I'm going to become I'm going to become a fitness coach. All right. So I'm going to become a fitness coach. Okay. And so I become a fitness coach and decide that I'm going to make a website. Okay. So basically here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take tutorbydesign.com right here. And let's see. All right. So I'm going to take tutorbydesign.com. And what I'm going to do is turn it into, trainedbydesign.com. Okay. And I'm going to say every athlete's journey is unique, so is our approach. And I'm also going to say right under this set, the average weight of an American is 160 pounds. Is that a lot to say? 160 pounds. So I don't want to just lie, though. Like, I want to say the actual average weight. So here's what I do. I say that I'm going to go and ask every single person in America how much they weigh. And so I go knocking on the door next to me, the house next to me, the house next to that, the house next to that, and ask them all how much they weigh. And I realized very, very quickly that I am not going to be able to ask every single person in America how much they weigh, right? Too many people. There are too many people in America. So I asked myself, how in the world could I figure out the average weight of Americans, right? Well, I could do something called a random sample. I could take a random sample. What a random sample does is I could randomly sample, for example, 2,000 Americans and take their average weight. And now I'm good. I can say that that represents the whole population. And the reason I can do that is because it was a random sample. As in, I didn't say I'm going to pick my friend Joshua and Nancy and Jacob. No, I'm going to pick random people. And so I find that the average weight is going to be 160 pounds with a margin of error. Let's say the margin of error is going to be 10. So what I'm going to do is instead of then, so the fact that I only surveyed 60, or let's say 2,000 people, means that there will be some amount of error, right? There will be some amount of error. What the heck? There will be some amount of error, right? And so because of that, guys, by the way, I just got distracted. Are you following Tutor by Design on Instagram? If not, you got to lock in, twin. All right, I post hard questions on there basically every single day. Anyway, margin of error, 10. What that means is that instead of using, sorry, I was not electing, guys. I was geeked. So instead of using, if you say it goes over, I guess. So that actually helps a lot. So instead of saying that the average is 160, I'm going to say that my average is going to go up 10 to 170 and down 10 to 150. And what this is going to do is create a range, okay? This is the range of averages that I think is likely, that I think is plausible. Range of average that's plausible, okay? So basically what this means is that I believe that it is likely that my average weight for Americans is between 150 and 170. So instead of just saying that it is, actually I should move this. So instead of saying that the average is just 160, I'm going to make a range, okay? Now, what can I say here? I never use the word certain in these questions. I never use the word certain. So I don't say it is certain that the average is this. It is impossible that the average is this. It must be this. It can't be that, whatever. Then all you got to do is say either it is likely that the average is between this 150 and 170, or you could say it is plausible that the average is 162. It is not likely that the average is 178 because that's outside the range, etc. Now, question. I take a random sample. So I'm going to delete this now. So let's say that I take a random sample of, so Noah takes a random sample. Actually, no, Noah and PCSN. Noah and PCSN take a random sample of students in Florida. Noah finds that the average GPA of students, take two different random samples, okay, different random samples of students in Florida, okay? Noah finds that the average GPA of students is 3.7 with margin of error of 0.6. And PCSN finds that the average GPA of students is 3.9 with margin of error of 0.3. Why is PCSN margin of error lower than Noah? Why is this, guys? So, guys, how do you figure this out? What is this even asking, guys? Let me get rid of this color. I don't like the red. It's annoying me. Where did it go? Where did my, oh my goodness. Okay, right there. Beautiful. What is it, guys? What is this going to be, guys? What do you think? What are we thinking here? What do you guys think? So which one? Which one had less students? The one with the lower margin of error or higher margin of error? So yes, it is because of a different sample size, but which one has a lower sample size? Which one is which? Which one is which? Which one is which? What is it, y'all? What is it, y'all? Guys, before you go to sleep tonight, you should watch all of these videos on Tutor by Design. All of them, guys. Higher margin of error has less sample. Exactly. The more people you survey, the closer you will be to being perfect and exact. So remember that, right? The more people you survey, the lower the margin of error. So am I able to use a wireless mouse? It depends on the testing center. More people surveyed equals lower margin of error. Think about this. If PCSN surveyed every single person in Florida, right, then he would not have any margin of error. He wouldn't have to say that there's a range. He would know the actual exact average. He would have no margin of error. And so if you just remember this, that the closer you get to interviewing or surveying everyone, the lower your margin of error will be. Then you'll get them all right. You'll get all the questions right, okay? All of the questions right. Okay? That makes sense, guys. Does that make sense? How did you get such a high score? Did you do lots of practice questions? Yes, sir, I did. I took about 20 practice tests, I would say. Although it was a waste, dude. I mean, my first practice test score was a 1460, and I wasted 2 months studying. Actually, I didn't waste, because I guess it worked out in the end. You know, a 1570 is better than a 1530, you know? But I did a lot of practice, guys. Practiced basically every day. Probably was practicing for like 15 hours a week, I would say. I actually, no, so let's say a practice test is like 3-4 hours. Used to be longer, so let's say, yeah, like 4 hours. And then I was taking like two or three of those a week, so like 8 hours. And then I was also doing practice passages every single day for like an hour maybe, so like 11 hours. Yeah, like 11 hours. All right, let's continue. I sent a question, so let's see here. Oh, I didn't even finish stats. Actually, I guess we'll do another stats in a little bit. What universities am I applying to? Like a lot. What is the first thing to do after taking a mock on Blue Book in detail? You should be looking over the questions you got wrong and trying to re-answer them. All right, I already did this one. Let's do this one. What was worse for your English or math? I was always better at math. I got an 800 math and a 770 English. But, yeah. So I guess, like, yeah. Math was always better. All right, so PCSN is low-key the tutor here. Anyway, so let's do this one. We have fun question here. Let me pull up Desmos. So I guess I'll wait until I write this stuff out. So x plus 7 is a factor of this quadratic function, and x equals c is a positive 0 of the function. If the minimum of the function is this, what is the value of c? So literally all you have to do is say that, well, actually you could just do this. So you have x plus 7, right? And you also have x equals c. That means that there is a factor at x minus c. Because basically the factor is if we get x equals something, when we set it equal to 0, that's our factor. So times x minus c. That equals, let's write quadratic form. So, well, this is a times whatever. And that equals a times x minus 63 over 8 squared plus k. And I could just write this as a regression. I'm going to explain another way that you could solve it if you wanted to do it by hand. But basically, so it's honestly like easy to do by hand as well. So a times x1 plus 7 times x1 minus c squared, or not squared. That is equivalent to a times x1 minus 63 over 8 squared plus k. And then I just have to define a list for x. Then I guess I should say that a is greater than 0 here. So a is greater than 0. Actually, I might not know that it's greater than 0. Maybe it's less than 0. I guess it's a bad way to try to solve it then. Yeah, I guess it is. So I guess here's the better way to solve it, because that wouldn't work that way. Is okay, so what I would do then, it's honestly easier to do this by hand, but all you would have to do is say that if you have negative, okay, so you have two different points on a graph, and so negative 7 is a 0, and so what's 63 over 8? 63 over 8 is 7.857, so that's all the way over here, okay? All you have to do is realize that if your other point of c comma 0, so this is c comma 0, because that's a 0 of the function, and then this is negative 7 comma 0. If this is 63 over 8 comma k, that means that 63 over 8 equals the average of these two. That equals the average of these two, because the average of 2 points or two x values that give the same y value is the x value of the vertex. So then you would just have like 63 over 8 is equal to like I don't know, you would say negative 7 plus c over 2, because you add the 2 and then divide by 2 to get the mean. So I could just write that. So I could just write 63 over 8 is equivalent to, not there, is equivalent to c minus 7 divided by 2. You get 22.75. And you could check then by doing x plus 7 times x minus 22.75. And making sure that the x value here is going to be the 67 over 8. 63 over 8. I wonder what I did wrong here. I guess you could do a table and do 63 over 8, comma k, and just, it doesn't matter what k is, and just say that y1 is equivalent. No, that wouldn't work. Actually, it probably would. x1 minus x1 plus 7 times x1 minus c, and then you just define k. No, it doesn't work. I see. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how you could do this though. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's easier to do by hand. You just know that 2 points that have the same y value in the middle of them is the vertex. Best way to tackle English. How do you know when to use regression or not? You use okay. I didn't even answer the other question, but use regression when you're trying to guess the value of constants. So like if you have an a and a b and a c and you want to use them, or you want to find them, you use regression. Okay, so how do I know when to use the regression? Or sorry, best way to tackle English. What we want to do is we want to No, that is not how you tackle English, is by not tackling it. You want, actually, what's the point of even telling you this? I could just send you over again, guys. This isn't even a plug. I literally do not profit at all off of sending you guys to this link. tutorbydesign.com/resources. Go into the SAT roadmap. Figure out exactly what you need to improve on. Is it vocab? Is it reading? Is it whatever? All you need to do is that. Okay, but I will make one comment, and that is that if you have a reading question, what your goal is to summarize everything sentence by sentence and realize, how does this sentence support this sentence? How does this support that? How does what, you basically ask yourself, how does this support that? For every sentence, you summarize each sentence, and then you're like, all right, well, sentence 3 supported sentence 1 by this, and then they're asking, how did this researchers support their claim? I'm gonna try to target the reasoning. Always target the reasoning, but you gotta ask yourself, why is my answer right? If you don't have a reason that's stated in the passage, you're wrong. Got a 1550, got a 1530 on my August. Okay, guys, I'm about to say something y'all might like. Why are you retaking a 1530? You're cooked. Why are you retaking a 1530? There is absolutely no reason to retake a 1530 unless you want to go to MIT. I can't think of a single other school where I think you need more than that. Even Harvard, you don't need more than that. Am I based? Is that based? Is that based, guys? I should do. Someone said this a while back. I should do rating your guys' extracurriculars in Common App. And I was like, that is a great idea, but I can't do that until I get into college, because it's I can't judge you if I don't have any proof, I don't have any base. By the way, so yeah. By the way, if you are applying to colleges though, again, this is free. Go to tutorbydesign.com/resources. Go to join this link and you will get a lot of free college admissions help. Answer my question. What's your question? MIT takes 1530. Bro, if you guys think that MIT is not taking a 1530, you guys are cooked. Bro, I can't think of a single school that will not accept you off 1530. If you're getting rejected from a college, it's not because of your 1530 SAT. I promise you that. I can guarantee that. Absolutely guarantee it. If you have above a 1500, you will not get rejected from a single college for your SAT score. What things should I look out for probability and data analysis? You should look out for conversion factors. You should look out for what happens if I double, or what happens if I multiply everything in a data set by this. What happens if I add an outlier? How can I improve my reading, writing score as an international? Talk to English speakers. You need a minimum of... You guys are cooked, all right? You guys are actually cooked. That's terrible. You guys are cooked. You know what? Let's look. This is official from MIT. From MIT. Okay, let's look. Let's look. Look at that. So their 25th percentile score. Are they test optional? They're not, right? Yeah, no. Their 25th percentile SAT scores of 1520, then 1550, 1570. If you're in a 1530, you're good. Bro, you are good. Do you have time for a hard probability question? Yeah, do you want to send me a specific one, or do you want me to just find it? If you have between this range, you're good, bro. I promise you. Absolutely promise you. And even, like, if you think, oh, I need to get a 1550 or 1570, no, you don't, bro. If you have a 1530, you're good. Quit the SAT. Fade the SAT, in my opinion. Spend time on your application. After this SAT, there's no point in taking it again. The one that asked Merck Emerson. No more SAT. How do I respond to this? No more SAT. No more. All right. If you can find one, then yes. All right, let's look. Do you think if for NC State, in-state, guys, all you have to do, NC State, common data set, any school, and you search up common data set, and you're going to find the answer to your question. You go to the C section. It's going to tell you exactly what the case is. They're test optional. Okay, they are test optional, which means that you do not have to submit their score. And even after being test optional, their 50th percentile is only at 1360. So this is the percentile given that only the top 25% of scorers are doing this. So this is technically, I'll just do the quick math for you. This is basically their like 87.5th percentile. If you have a 75th percentile score, you are better than, I can't do the math. What's 0.75, 0.25, 1 minus 0.25 times 0.25. You are in the 94th percentile if you have a 1440 for NC State. So you are good. You are good. And you're in state. You're good, bro. Should I just do chancing for... Should I just start posting about your chances at college apps? So much more fun than the SAT. Anything lower than 1300 is not competitive, but if you have something higher than 1400, it depends on the school. Completely depends on the school. If you want to go to UCF, 1300 is definitely competitive. All right, let's see. Let's look at some questions now. Okay, I have a question that was DM'd to me. Oh, this question's so easy. Guys, you got to send me harder questions now. Come on. I can't pull it up. It's not letting me pull up the perimeter. I'm getting tired. What math laws are most important to review? Guys, you guys are actually going to make me crash out. You guys really are going to make me crash out. It's all in the documents, guys. This is all. Everything you need to know is in the document. Go to the SAT roadmap. Look where it says, where is it going to be? Right here, SAT Math Study Guide. Right here. That's not mine, but mine is here. All of this will tell you what you should know. It'll tell you exactly what you should know. Guys, these are free resources. I don't make anything off of giving you these resources. And I give them all to you. Okay? And you guys don't use them. So whose fault is it when you don't get a 1600? Is it mine or is it yours? Maybe it's both of ours. All right, maybe it's both of ours. Okay, I have divulged from talking about the SAT. So let's actually talk about an SAT question. So the perimeter of an equilateral triangle. Okay, we're doing this question because it was sent to me like a long time ago, and then we're doing and then we're gonna do some statistics. Do they make you clear out your calculator? They probably won't. I'm getting tired, guys. It's almost time for me to get off here. Usually I'm on here for like 3 hours, but I'm not off of a good amount of sleep, guys. And I also drank caffeine like 6 hours ago, which means like 6-7 hours ago, which means that I'm gonna crash like very soon. So, okay. Let's take a look at this question, guys. Guys, by the way, where do you want to go to college, guys? Leave a comment down here. Where would you like to go to college? If you could go to any college you wanted to, where would it be? Okay, let's solve this question. So the perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 852. So I have this equilateral triangle. And if the perimeter is, okay, 6, 7. All right. So 852. So that means that the side lengths are 852 over 3. 852 over 3. So that's going to be 284. Okay, great. 284. 284. 284. Okay, perfect. Now I need to find that the height, or sorry, it's inscribed. No, I didn't read this. They're drawn inside of a circle. I just did this question, but it was just in a different write-up. They're drawn inside of a circle. So all I have to do if I want to find the radius or the value of W is I know that if I do this, honestly, I could just do that and say that this is 60, this is 90, and that this is 30, and then just say that that I have this triangle, and that across from the 90 is 284, and then across from this is actually this wouldn't do it, because it has to go all the way through. So here's what we have to do. I can't take that shortcut. I have to go from the middle and then go like here. So that's a radius, right? And then what I would do is draw this down and say that this is 30 degrees, this is 60 degrees, and this is 90 degrees. And then bang, bang. All I got to do is that this is 30, 60, 90. This is going to be 142 because it's half of the 284 because this is the other half. Then across from the 30 would be x. So this is x root 3, and then I need to get 2x, right? So I could get the radius. So if 142 equals x root 3, then 142 over root 3 equals x. And so then 2x equals 142 over root 3 times 2, right? So let's move this up here. I basically just need to find this number. So that's going to be 284 over root 3, but I need to get it to be w root 3. So I'm going to multiply by root 3 over root 3. I'll get 284 root 3 over 3. And so the answer for w is just 284 over 3. Do not drink. Oh my God. No, guys. Do not drink caffeine before your SAT, guys, please. Don't drink an energy drink before the test, guys, unless you do most days. Guys, which one of you wants to come to Stanford with me? Because that is my dream university. And if I get into Stanford, that is where I will be attending. Okay? Pray that I get into Stanford, guys. I'm just eat some Neurogum. Get out. All right. So why not? Why not drink an energy drink? Because it might make you crash during the middle of the test. It might make you crash. It really could. You know what the best way to wake up? This is going to sound crazy. Y'all are going to absolutely flame me for this, but I'm telling you guys the truth now. The best way to wake up early. If you're broke, then you can afford Stanford. Stanford is, guys, I'm about to put you on the method. You get into a very top school, like Stanford, Harvard, MIT, Princeton, Columbia. They will pay so much for you to go to college. They will pay so much for you to go to college. Go to their net price calculator. I'm not going to do it right now, but go to any college. Go to Stanford, net price calculator. Search this up. I guess we came to this one. Actually, no, this one's bad. Let's go to this one. And you literally just click quick cost estimator and you start it and you answer these questions and it'll tell you about how much it'll cost. All right. I'm middle class. I don't qualify for any scholarships. Even if you're middle class, you will, I shouldn't curse. You will get so much money from like Stanford or Harvard or MIT. Okay. You'll be anxious on an energy drink. Yes, very possibly. Guys, I'm lost. What should I do next? What do I want to do next, guys? Give me some questions, guys. Email me some questions to contact@tutor-by-design. I think I'm going to end the stream at 7. It's 6:30 right now, so like 6:30, like 6, 7. All right. Let's see. Guys, am I getting to 10,000 followers before the next SAT on TikTok? Am I getting to 10,000 TikTok followers? My brother already. Oh my God, we're cooked. I'm applying to Georgia Tech. I want to go. I could go to Georgia Tech. I could see myself there. Oh, probability. I was forgetting. Okay. I don't know if I have. Y'all, I'm your competition at Georgia Tech. How do I have so much ball knowledge as a senior? What do you mean? What type of ball knowledge? Guys, I am a collector of data, a collector of information. I know a lot of ball, all right? About more than just SAT in college, all right? I know a lot of ball. All right. Don't play with me, y'all. I know ball. My EC's going to carry. My ECs are so tough. My ECs are so tough, y'all. Don't even make me lock in, guys. My essays, I'm the peak of narration. All right, buddy. We'll see. We'll see, buddy. My essays are low-key cooked. Actually, my personal statement's just cooked, but everything else is good. Everything else is really good. Like, my subs are really good. I mean, I've only really locked in, like... This is what my college essay checklist looks like right now. And this is a reminder. This is a reminder of the goal, guys. You have to have this sitting next to you, guys. If your extracurriculars are working in 2 jobs, one being a tutor and one working in food, is that good for college? It depends on what college, and it depends on if that is the only thing you need. Show your extracurriculars, DM me. I did on an Instagram live once. But low-key, we don't have time for that right now. Maybe I will at the end of this, but... All right. So, let's get to guys, get me to 1 million followers and I will leak my personal statement. Get me to 1 million followers and I'll leak my personal statement. If I get into Stanford, I'll leak everything. I will leak everything, guys. Yo, Lady Cupcakes, you need to go to sleep. Here's what you're going to do. Guided meditation to fall asleep. Anxiety. YouTube. Right here. Just watch this. Watch something. Literally watch something. Okay, watch a guided meditation. It will help you fall asleep, I promise you guys. Guided meditation, lock in. I'm at 16 an hour. Good luck. All right, good luck. DM me on Instagram after the SAT. Let me know how it went. Because I would love to know. Okay, let's lock in. We need to lock in. My personal statement carries my application. My personal statement is cooked. My personal statement is cooked, y'all. It might be cooked. I might be cooked, y'all. What did I say we were going to do? Probability? Oh, it's boring. All right, let's do this. Infamous question here. Infamous question, y'all. Infamous. Guys, I still have to read so many applications for free tutoring for low-income application. But I'm going to lock in tonight. After this, I'm going to lock in. After this live, I'm going to lock in. And if any of you applied to PCSN, after this, I am going to DM you. We are going to go EC for EC. Okay? I'm cooked in the next 3 hours. Do not say that. If your test is in 3 hours, here's what you could do. You could watch 3 hours of Tutor by Design. No, I'm kidding. What you should do in the next 3 hours, well, first of all, if your SAT is in 3 hours, why are you already awake? You need to go back to sleep. Go back to sleep until your SAT is in about an hour and a half. Wake up, read the news, jump out of bed as fast as you can. Opposite order. Jump out of bed as fast as you can. Read the news, drive to your test, get in the test. Just remember my voice while you are doing the test. If you just remember my voice, it will carry you to a 1600. Just every time you're on a math question, just think about me in the back of your head. Noah told me this. Noah told me that. And you will get a 1600. Trust me, I've tried it. Okay? All right. So, guys, this is not a vape. Okay. Teach how to approach inference and support the research. I will do that right after this question. Remind me, guys, because I'm going to forget. I'm not locked in right now, guys. All right, let's do this. So, a grove has 6. By the way, if any of you guys are looking for a tutor, tutorbydesign.com. Work with me. Right here, book now. And you can book a session with the one and only Noah Birkin. All right? For literally anything, by the way. Not just SAT. I'll teach you anything. All right? Absolutely anything. All right. And if you need free resources, again, like I said, tutorbydesign.com. If this SAT kicks your butt, /resources. Completely free. All of these resources completely free. Okay. TS not a vape. You the goat. I ain't taking September though. All right, you're gonna lock it in. You're gonna lock in October. Okay. So a grove has 6 rows of birch trees. Okay, 6 rows of birch trees, 5 rows of maple trees. Each row of birch trees has 8 trees 20 feet or taller. So there's 6 rows of birch, right? And inside of that, there are going to be 8 trees 20 feet or taller. So 8 trees. So 8 that are trees that are 20 plus. And then there's going to be 6 trees that are 20 minus, right? And then that means that we'll have 48 total of 20 plus, right? Because there's 6 rows. So 8 times 6. And then here we'll have 36 total that are 20 minus. Okay, great. Then for the maple trees, we have 9 rows of maple trees. We have 5 rows of maple trees. And each row of maple trees has 20 feet, 9 trees that are 20 feet or taller. So 9 trees that are 20 plus. So that's going to give us 45 total that are 20 plus. And then here we have that 7 of them are 20 minus. So that'll give us a 35 or 20 minus. Now, it asks us, what is the probability of selecting a maple tree given that it's 20 feet or taller? So how many trees are 20 feet or taller? There's 48. What the heck was that? 48 plus 45. So, and then how many of them are actually maple trees? How many of them are actually maple trees? It's 45. So it's going to be 45 out of the total, which was 93. So that would simplify to what? 15 over 31. Bang. I'm so tired, y'all. I'm so tired. What is next? Oh, I need to do a reading question. Ugh. Reading. All right. Let's do this. So I guess we'll do like this is like support the hypothesis. This is like inference. Message deleted. Well, don't know what you said there, but you got flagged, buddy. Lock in. Take a 20-minute nap? Nah. Yes. Yes, Diego, yes. Yes, exactly. What did this guy say? Whatever. All right. Try to read this question, then I'm going to explain, guys. Try to read this question, then I'm going to explain. Try to read this, and then I'm going to explain, y'all. I'm going to go to Chipotle after this, y'all. I'm going to grub. I'm going to grab. Do y'all use LinkedIn? Do y'all use LinkedIn? Do y'all use LinkedIn? Yo, crazy. Yo, I'm about to expose. These guys are not those guys, bro. Who do these guys think they are? These guys live in my town. They're trying to copy me. Who do they think they are? Terrible. What's her socials? I'm exposing these people. Oh, it doesn't even matter. They're not competitive. They're not competing against me. Guys, expose them. No, I'm kidding. But whatever. I really hate when people copy me, guys. Tell me why everyone in my town is trying to become a tutor now. Tell me why. All right? It really irks me, guys. Guys, they think they're the king, but I'm the king. All right? And it really irks me. It pisses me off. All right, let's do this. All right. Yeah, I be connection farming on LinkedIn. I have like 250 connections, but I don't really use LinkedIn anymore. It's like it's filled with like degenerates that like just fake what they're doing and like make it seem like they're doing things that are more important than they are. All right, so yeah, I said it. All right, so oh guys, I gave you a bad question. This is the one question on the whole freaking document. I just looked at the answer choices and I freaking put it. It's supposed to be a different it was the questions are from the wrong thing. You guys aren't even doing the freaking questions. You guys are just sitting here letting me yap. It's no good. Okay, where am I going? Okay. Y'all didn't even stop me. We're cooked. We're cooked, guys. Why do some people become stuck in the 1450 plus range? Because they're not good enough? I don't know. Because after the 1450, there's a level of intelligence that goes into it. All right. So let's take a look at this. So lock in, y'all. So in June of 1986, India liberalized its stock market, meaning that it began allowing foreign individuals and businesses to invest money in Indian companies. So basically, first sentence, what is it talking about? We always got to summarize it. They do give you a sheet of paper. They give you a sheet of paper for both. So India liberalized its stock market, allowing foreign investments. Okay, that's what the first sentence means. What are my tips for English? You're going to solve every English question exactly how I'm solving it, except you're not going to type it out. You're just going to do it in your head. So then, this was part of a wave of stock market liberalizations from the mid-1980s through the mid-1990s. So this was part of a large wave of liberalization. Okay, then it says, in an analysis of economic data from this time to this time, these people found that liberalization did not lead to an enduring increases in investments in companies that liberalize. So no long-term. Enduring means long-term increase in investment of liberalized country. Okay, great. Then it says Peter Blair Henry, however, found that on average investment in companies in liberalized countries increased significantly in the 3 years following liberalization. So there is, yes, short-term increase. There is a short-term, that 3 years increase in investment, increase in investment of liberalized countries. Okay, so these results suggest what? What would they suggest? They would suggest that in the short term, there is an increase in investment, but in the long term, there isn't. Bang. Easy. All right. Sorry, I went quiet for a second. Oh my God. The answer is D. No, it's not. You guys are cooked. It's A, y'all. It's A. It's A. Liberalization may provide a boost to investment that fades over time. Short term, it's there. Long term, it's not, guys. You have to be able to get a question like this right. Otherwise, you might actually be cooked. You might actually be cooked, y'all, if you can't get this question right. Might actually. Especially because I literally told you exactly what the answer should say. Oh, my God. It's not there. All right, bro. We're cooked. All right, y'all. What other questions would you like to see, guys? I'm only going to be on for 15 more minutes, honestly. It's been a long week. Is it magical? Yo. James Lou posted. That's so tough. Yo, James Lou posted, y'all. James Lou is so tough. James Lou is so tough, y'all. Y'all, here's a perfect trifecta. Here's a perfect trifecta. Let me get on TikTok. Here's a perfect trifecta. Alright, let's get in. Let's get logged in. If you play Lumberloon Cycle, you're actually weird. Okay. First in the trifecta, obviously. Actually, there's a couple more, but in the trifecta of relatable tutors, obviously it's me. Okay, obviously I'm going to come up first. Okay, but in the next trifecta, we have James Lou, Project Academic Weapon. Project Academic Weapon is locked in. Okay, he is locked in. Yo, he changed his name. Dang. Okay, well, James Lou. Then we have we have Scott Robinson. Of course we have Scott Robinson. Scott Robinson's the GOAT. Tell me he's the GOAT. Scott Robinson is the GOAT. And look, he made an edit. Yo, wait. I gotta turn my music up. Alright, look.
Street smarts and social skills will take you way further than book smarts do. Think back.
Is that tough, y'all? I think that's so tough. Y'all. Alright, let me stop glazing. But also, y'all, Daniel is low-key tough as well. Daniel is tough. Daniel is the boy. Alright. Okay, anyway. Yo. All you have to do is you do the it-they test, y'all. I promise you. Y'all don't have to do any flow charts. Alright. Just lock in. Alright, just do the it-they test. It's so simple. It is so simple, guys. The it-they test will save you. Guys. Okay, what is next? I'm I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. Where did I even go? Let's get back into here. Let's see. What question do y'all want next? Lock in, like up the stream, guys, and share to all your friends if you want a 1600. Every single one of your friends. Every single one of you guys. Be more locked in at SAT and Clash Royale. Guys, if you are running... Okay, y'all. I know this is crazy, but look. Tell me that my Clash Royale decks are not fire. I got to do some of these questions. Y'all, send me some questions into my email. Email me some questions in the next minute, and I'm going to answer them all. Email me some questions in the next minute, and I'm going to answer them all. Email me questions in a minute, and I'm going to answer them all. Any question you have. All right, look. This is deck number 1. This is my second deck. All right, this is deck number 2, basically. All right, can y'all see? Tell me that's not tough. All right, then this is my own main deck. This is my baby. That's a beautiful deck, y'all. That is a beautiful deck. And I will literally 1v1 any of y'all on Clash. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. All right, we got to lock in. All right. We're doing a math question, y'all. Of course we're doing a math question. Who wants to do English? Nobody. Let's see. Actually, oh, I like this question. All right, this is our question, guys. This is our question. All right, let's do this question. Of course I don't play Mega Knight. Who do you think I am, guys? Who? Crazy. Yo, all you have to do is they test and then check verb tense and then check parallelism. That's it. Simple. All you have to do is check parallelism, guys. What is a main verb? What is a main verb? What is a main verb? Do we make this up? No. What? Guys, you do not need to do all this. No. First step is they test. Second step is verb tense based on the other ones. And third one is parallelism or structure. Or gerunds. Like ing. That's technically not a verb. Playing is not a verb. That is a noun. Is the verb. Is a verb. Okay? How many trophies do I have? Not a lot. Guys, I literally tutor for like hours every day. I don't have time to play Clash Royale. All right, let's do this. We're almost done with the live stream, guys. Let's do this. So, with strategy, you do it in 5 seconds. I mean, yeah, with my strategy, I do it in 5 seconds. His strategy's probably fast too. But yeah, that's the strategy I use. Okay, so the exponential function g is defined by this, where a and b are positive constants. G of k minus 1 equals g of k. So basically, g of x equals ab to the x, right? So g of k minus 1, that's going to equal ab to the k minus 1. G of k will just equal ab to the k. So basically, this is saying that ab to the k minus 1 equals ab to the k plus 18 over 100 times ab to the k minus 1. And then it wants to find the value of b. Literally, I'll just plug this into Desmos. And it should be pretty simple. I'm mentally deficient. Yes, I can do that. So then all you would have to do is, I mean, I really could solve this by hand. So I could subtract the 18 over 100 and say that 82 over 100 AB to the K minus 1 equals AB to the K. I mean, honestly, at this point, I would plug it into Desmos. 82. 10 minutes later, I entered the exam room. Tough. Are you ready? That's super simple. That's very simple. Put it into the calculator. So 82 over 100 AB to the K minus 1 is equivalent to AB to the K. And then I could just put in values for K because it's an unknown, I guess. Let's see. Let's make this bigger. And then I guess we should say that A is greater than 0. That gives us that though. I guess I could just do this. X1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be that. Now, I guess I could solve it by hand as well. So, for by hand, we would just do that. This is 82 over 100 times AB to the K AB to the K over AB to the 1, right? And it should be like this. Actually, no, it should just be AB to the 1, right? Because if you're subtracting exponents, that means you're dividing the actual things. So that equals AB to the K. These get canceled out. And so you just have 82 over 100 equals AB. So 82 equals 100 AB. So I guess B, 82 over 100A equals B. But then how do we find A? Did I stump myself? Am I cooked? Ooh, I know what I could do. I could write that G of X equals AB to the X. And then I could write that G to the K minus 1 is equivalent to... Actually, I don't know if this will work. G to the K. I don't know if this will work. G to the K plus 18 over 100. I'm just yapping. Plus 18 over 100 times G to the K minus 1. No, I get the same thing. So do I write that? What do I do here then? How do we find A? Am I cooked, y'all? Did I finally stump myself? 82 over 100A. We got to get James Lou in here. 82 over 100A equals B, but how do I find A? I guess I could just cross these all out, and then now it should be easy. B, yeah, I could have done that. B to the K minus 1 equals B to the K plus 18 over 100 B to the K minus 1. So 82 over 100 B to the K minus 1 equals K. Sorry, equals B to the K. So 82 B to the K over 100 B to the K minus, B to the negative, or B to the 1 equals B to the K. Cross these out. So 82 over 100 is B. Bam. Bam. 82 over 100. You're probably getting that because you're not in degrees. So what is it? Sine of 24 cosine of 66 plus cosine of 24 sine of 66. You have any life-changing reading tips? If your answer isn't stated in the passage, it's wrong, except for on main ID and author's purpose. And then the correct answer to that question, if I'm not mistaken, is like cosine of 66 squared plus cosine of 24 squared. And that gives you the same number. Is that tough that I know the SAT questions by heart? Is that tough? I think I might end the stream. I have a lot that I have to get done, guys. Guys, send me any final questions you have, and I'll answer them all, and then I think I'm going to end the stream. Enter your last questions into here. Enter your last questions into here, guys. Enter your last questions into here, guys. Guys, I have 1,000,000 bit rate. Did y'all know that? I have 1,000,000 bit rate. I have 1,000,000 bit rate, guys. Guys, I have 1,000,000 bit rate, y'all. Oh, sorry. You don't have to worry about any of this. Just goes that way. Stop the cap, you're not chasing Lumina. I literally have 1,000,000 bit rate, y'all. The answer key says for volume 1, I need to use cube root instead of volume 1. Yo, don't use those equations, y'all. I literally explained this like 20 minutes ago. Like an hour ago, actually. Thank you for the help. I'm watching reading tips and from the greats. And then final tips for probability. I bet. Beautiful, bro. next course I'm making is the probability course. I just need to find time to make it, y'all. I literally cannot promise anything because I'm extremely busy, but I'm going to try my best to get a probability and data analysis one out soon. But I really can't promise anything because I'm really busy, okay? Probably won't come out until like November, honestly. But when I get the chance, I'm going to make one, okay? I'm literally doing like the full-time job, y'all. I literally don't have time to do this. All right, but anyway. Okay, look. I literally just explained. Actually, random username. I want you to go to... Let's see. I'm going to tell you exactly where to go. That way we could save time. So let's see. Okay, look. So you're going to go here. You're going to go to... When did I talk about scale factors? Does anyone remember? It's low-key like later. Oh, it's right here. Go right here in the live stream. I will explain all the scale factors that you have to know. All of them. All right? All the scale factors that you have to know. All right? How do you do the AB to the expression? I just did it up here. Oh, well, now it's gone. Scroll back. Scroll back. Scroll back. Email me any final questions y'all have, and then I'm ending. I'm ending soon, guys. Give me your strategy for the English bit. Okay, look. Actually, let me go in order. A right triangular prism is shown. The formula gives the volume of the prism with length, width, and height. What is the volume in cubic centimeters of a right triangular prism with a length of centimeters and a height of centimeters and a width? A triangular prism is 1/3 length, width, height. That is the volume of a a right triangular prism. That's just a prism is just area equals base times height. So it would be 1/2 length width. That's the base if the base is a triangle. Triangular prism means that the base is a triangle, and then the height is just the height. Bang. By the way, like that would look like this. Actually, I don't know if I could draw a good one. I can't. This would be a triangular prism. So this is the height, and this is the length. This is the width. Sorry, it's the other way around. It should be like, this would technically be the length, and this would be the width, and this would be the height. So it's 1/2 length, width, height. Okay. Please give me your strategy for the English bit. All right. So basically, you get into the test, you do the vocab first. When you're on the vocab section, you're going to read every single. You're gonna read the question, read the passage, answer the passage with a fill in the blank. You're not gonna look at the answer choices. Then you're gonna look at your answer choices and find the answer that's closest to what you would think you were supposed to put. Now, if you don't know the words, you skip them until the end. You do the ones you do know. If the one you know is correct, then you pick it. If you know that the ones you don't know are wrong, then you have to go through the other ones. Let's say you knew 3 of the words and you knew that all 3 of those were wrong, then just do that. Okay, so then just pick that. So you know 3 answers are wrong, then just, and you don't know the last word, then pick the last word, because if the other 3 are wrong, then they're wrong. So then you're gonna you're gonna skip the reading. You're gonna go to the grammar, and you're going to look. Actually, here, you're going to go to here. You're going to go to tutorbydesign.com/resources. You're going to go to SAT Roadmap. You're going to go to English where it says grammar. You're going to then go to this study guide. You're going to go through this whole grammar thing. You're going to go through all this. Then you're going to go to Tutored by Design SAT Grammar. I wonder if it'll show up. Honestly, probably not. Yeah. Just go here. YouTube. You're going to go to my YouTube channel. Actually, why don't I just pull it up here? So you're going to go to my YouTube channel. Then you're going to watch SAT Grammar Review. Okay? Or you're going to go to tutoredbydesign.com/standard English conventions and get the course. Okay? Either one. All right? Then you're going to lock in. That's it. Then for the notes and transitions, that's really easy. But if you are struggling on those, it's just in here as well in that roadmap. Where is it? Up here. Then on reading, you're just gonna summarize every sentence, every passage sentence by sentence. Then you're going to look for whatever answer connects this sentence to that sentence. Like, how does this sentence connect to that sentence? How can I support this with that information? And so on and so forth. Then you submit the test. Okay, so I got B as 41 over. I got B as 82 over 100. So yeah, 41 over 50 is the same thing. Okay, did anyone send any other emails? Nope. I don't think so. Does that mean that I think we're all good for now? You guys are, I think that's it. I think I'm going to end it. Kind of short stream today, but I really have just been plastered with work. Plastered not in like a bad way, but just very busy with work. Are you going to be this? I don't know what that is, but hopefully that doesn't sound like something I want to be. It does not sound like something I want to be. I don't think I want to be the Stanford pisser. Do you guys have any other questions before I end the stream? I could have been spending my Friday night doing something else, but instead I love the SAT, so this is what I do. Okay, so yes, sure, I can do that. Okay, hold on. So that question would tell us that A is 2,241%, the sum of B and C. I know what question you're talking about. Of B plus C, okay? So it's just 2,241% of B plus C, okay? And then we have that B is 83% of C, okay? Then we know that it's asking what percent of B is A. So some percent, P percent of B is equals A. Then you just put this into a table. You have A, comma B, comma P percent of B. You put in the left of each equation. Then you set it equal using a squiggly line to the right of each equation. So 2241% of B plus C. By the way, I have so many of these on my TikTok. 83% of C. I actually posted one today. And A. And then you just put that into Desmos. So you'd have... yeah, I have these questions memorized, bro. Come on. Got to do better. So A, comma B, comma P percent of B, and then set that equivalent to 22. Remember, when you're using squiggly lines, you have to, if you are writing an X or if you're writing an X or a Y, you have to write X1 and Y1. 83% of C, and then A. And then it tells you that the percentage is 4,941%. So that's easy. The percentage is 4,941%. Is that tough? Oh. Stressful times, guys. You guys got to get to sleep. It's already 7 o'clock. You should have been asleep 2 hours ago. We're locked in, guys. If the question is asking me to go from per second to per hour, I have to multiply by 60 twice. Yes. Well, no. If it's like go from seconds to minutes, then it's just 60 equals 1. But if it's going from seconds squared to minutes squared, then it's 3,600 equals 1, because then you have to square it. Last minute inference tips. Again, if your answer is not supported in the passage, it's wrong. Ask yourself, why is this sentence supporting the other sentence? If you scroll back, like if you literally go through this timeline on here and just go to any of the questions where the screen was like, it was yellow questions, that's how you know it was English. You literally watch my thought process through an English question. I'm trying to find some that I like here as well. You'll find my thought process through English questions. Okay, what news article do I read? One that you're not interested in. So let's do news. Let's see. Don't pull Charlie Kirk, because that's, you want to do something that you're not, like, you don't care about. So I don't know. Boring news. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Read this. Read about Lisa Barlow, guys. I don't know. Just go to like news. Go to like Fox News and read a boring headline. Or whatever news you want to go to. Don't read about something you're interested in. So like, how about this? No, that's something, if you're into politics and you'll be into that. Just read boring news, guys. Read the boring news. How about like this? No, this is all about politics. How can we pull someone that's not... Guys, this is cooked. AP News. Get a nonpartisan news network. How about this? This one's fine. Tough news article. Don't play Clash Royale. Don't play Clash Royale. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for the stream. I have so much freaking stuff I got to get done. So much stuff. And it does not get done. Do not read the Clash Royale articles. All right. All right. If you guys have any other questions, you can always DM me, preferably on Instagram, and I'll respond back as quick as I possibly can. And yeah. So I'm thinking of the test tomorrow. What should I do today to prepare? Dude, it is 7 p.m. Go to sleep. How do I do vocab questions? Read the passage. Fill in the blank with a word that you would put. Try to match it to whatever the answer choices are. If you don't know the vocab, then you guess. You better go EC for EC with me. I will. Kevin, if you need more help, just DM me on Instagram at tutor_by_design, and I'll respond. All right, I think that's gonna be it. I will see you guys later. I'm ending in 3, 2, 1.